Hey guys, this is Lucid, and I'm going to be doing a kind of little update here for the Elephant Whisper that, so Nuclear Monkey did a pretty cool video way back when on how to expand with elephants. The elephant mechanic has changed a lot from Dominions 4 to 5. And so anyway, we're going to do elephant expansion with Patala, who doesn't have particularly good... Somebody was calling this like one of the worst nations in the game. And yeah, the Nagas suck. But you can turn all the Nagas into people, and sure, they lose a path, but anyway. Sure, they suck, but you get these guys, you have really good national spells. Your troops are actually okay. But anyway, we're going to try scales expansion. People were saying you couldn't do it with Patala. And part of that was because elephants suck. So, we'll pick something that Bandar Log could kind of do. It wouldn't be horrible. This doesn't give us blood. You may want blood on your pretender for... Bandar Log for Patala, but, you know, this is going to be okay for spamming out yogis and putting up foul vapors and stuff. I mean, you'll need to buff your troops and stuff, but if you do foul vapors behind PD, you really only have to have it for your sacred mages. And you need 2 HP on Bandar because your little fuckers are... Whoops. They're just 9 HP. So with 2 you get like an additional regen tick, because you've got nature astral, so anyway. You're going to be having regen on all your communion slaves. You're not going to be like a powerful turbo communion nation, but it's a good measure. And then of course we're going to go imprisoned, and we have really good scales. And we'll max these out. Something like this. And then elephant expansion. Now we're not only going to use elephants, but we're going to make a lot of them at the beginning. Okay, so how did expansion used to work? Well, for elephants, there's a few mechanics that's important with elephants. One of the mechanics is you need to put other people in the group with them, because you need to have a certain number of people in the squad so they don't fail a morale check and then, like, die. Well, I should have made him a prophet, but whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, like, some of these idiots and put them in here, and these are going to be on attack closest. We're going to put them back here, and then these guys are going to be about right here. They're going to be on attack closest, and then distraction, Marcata chaff up in the front, okay? And, okay, not terribly hard expansion. This will be reasonably easy. Heavy infantry's crossbow. This is probably okay. We'll see how this does. This will probably, well, we'll take an easier province with a little bit more resources. Okay, now what do we do? Well, it's not time for more elephants quite yet. We're going to get better troops to go with the elephants. We're going to get these light Bandar warriors. And we're going to get a researcher. Because that's what we would do in a game, even though we're testing expansion. Next turn, we're going to get elephants and Marcata. And then we'll just have you patrol. You could, these are pretty stealthy units. You could definitely profitize a scout. Okay, so let's go. We're not going to do research or anything. We're just going to see how many we can expand year 1, and we're going to... So, the original thing you would do, like in Dom 5, what changed, or in Dom 4, what changed with real-time combat, is it used to be like one side would go, then another side would go. And so what you wanted to do was you would want to time it so that as the enemy was walking forward, they would walk here, and they would stop right in front of your elephants, and then your elephants would get a whole turn to just sit here and trample them. The problem with elephants, especially these elephants, is they don't have much protection, and they don't have much defense, so they just kind of take hits like a champ, and they tend to kind of die if exposed to anything. So we don't really want them just crashing into melee. So ideally, we could position these guys a little farther forward, because we kind of want them getting in to combat at the same time. But, I mean, that's not horrible. These guys are right here behind them. And elephants kill things very fast. That's one thing they're very good at, unless it's size 6, and then they kind of shit their pants. And we should have an HP route. Killing all my fucking Marcata. Excuse me, I shouldn't cuss in a guide. My guess is we lost 6 Marcata. 3 and 1. Okay. So anyway, that's that. But that was an easy province. The trick is like, do we have heavy cav around here? We'll find some heavy cav. This is late age. I'm sure they're heavy cav. We're going to go plow into these idiots, though. It's going to give us more PD. I'll go ahead and do 6, because we'll probably do that in a game. Here, we're actually going to switch up recruitment. We're going to get one of these guys. If we might have enough to get more. How many Marcata can we get? We'll sack an elephant and get a few more Marcata. Something like this. Be our next one. We've wiped out the bank, so we're not going to get 2 commanders. We're going to put these guys a little farther forward. And I think that will do. The main thing, what we're trying to engineer, is twofold. We need other units in our army with our elephants, and the squad. These guys, unfortunately, are not going to fight. That's why we don't want to, like, overdo it here. And then, ideally, some distraction chaff. They're not really getting... The AI is focusing on these guys. And then we need a little bit of somebody else to come just take hits for them in the front line. They have a lot of HP, so if they don't really get surrounded, if they don't get too much focus fire, you're not really going to lose them. Barbs and heavy cav and other sorts of high damage things are going to be special cases. Okay, here we lost some Atavi infantry, which is fine. So, let's see, we'll do 6 again. This was the expensive queue, so we're going to go back to the resource-intensive one. We have a lot of recruitment points left. That's okay. I kind of want a lot of these guys. We're going to get a little bit out of the Marcata business. We're going to go back to getting those idiots. And then here, we're going to get you. And this will be our next expansion group. Now, we have a decision. We can combine, or we can split. If we combine here, we're going to take a lot less casualties. If we split, we're going to take more, but we'll have potentially faster expansion. The thing is, like, I'm looking at this. This province will take a fair amount of attrition if we run these guys into it. So I think the play here is we're going to combine. Potentially, no. And this army's getting really weak. So I think combining is the right thing here. So we're going to put... what we're going to do, we don't need that many idiots with the elephants. That's probably actually perfect. These guys, I think, were a little too close. I'll put these guys back here. I don't really want to get too much monkey screen. But that should be fine. And we're recruiting these guys. Okay, let's go. You can see... Okay, we lost an elephant. Let's see how that happened. What I'm gonna guess... Okay, well, they're... First of all, we have an idiot elephant back there, but they kind of got a little too far out in front. What can happen, and this will happen during elephant expansion, is you'll get a bleeding effect on one of them. And that's not very good. It doesn't look like that's what happened here. Oh, we did get a bleeding at the end. So this one died just from getting a bleeding wound. This is going to happen sometimes in elephant expansion. You get a bleeding wound, it's just a good game. It's another way for your pretender to die in expansion, if you're using an awake expander. I never made a profit, I should have done that. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we're going to take these guys who are actually not bad in combat. We're going to put them primarily in here. Take these guys, put them over here. We're going to send you home. We can keep making mages. but now we're going to turn this off. We're going to get more elephants. A lot more elephants. Some more monkeys. Okay, that's enough. I mean, I prefer Bandar Warriors, light Bandar Warriors to monkeys, but we need some. If we don't really have heavy calves, so we can kind of tone it down a little bit on the monkeys. You know what I might need to do, because we're gonna have to take this out eventually as part of this expansion. I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy a little early, and we're gonna go ahead and profit him. And I think we'll just slam into the. This is going to be easy expansion here, so we're going to come down here. Okay, and then we're going to fill back up. We lost some Marcata. And actually, what I can probably do here is, we don't actually really need the Marcata in front. Oh, we do now. So there's some heavy cav we can kill, there's some blowpipes. If you're staying tuned for like, if we're going to really test expansion, like, this is an AIDS map, so we know somebody's cap would be here, and then somebody else's cap would be here, so this is a province you could get, but probably not. You're probably going to piss somebody off taking it, but it's a heavy cap province, and I just want to show you guys what will happen taking a heavy cap, and we should be able to take it here. It's probably about 15 heavy cav, so this is tricky. What we have to do is actually get these guys like as far back as we can. And then we're gonna split the monkey. Can we split the monkeys? We're gonna take a morale penalty. We don't want a morale penalty. We're just gonna put the whole fucking monkey blob up here. And I think I haven't actually tested this part but we're gonna do hold an attack and then hold an attack. And that will just ensure that the monkeys slam into the Marcata, which is what I want. The problem is this is a little too many. Let's take the bow Marcata and we'll put them, I know it's going to be a morale penalty, but we'll put them back here. I don't really need that many monkeys for them to slam into. That's probably enough. One monkey for each cav. So anyway, we'll do that. And then we've got another group over here. We don't need that many people. And then we're going to expand out this way. And the goal, we're going to see if we can get about 20 in year one with elephant expansion. So, what is this? Crossbowman. I think this one we're actually just going to bum rush the shit out of them. Attack closest. We'll put these guys in the back. We don't really need them for this. And then attack closest. These guys are good enough they can usually take a hit or two from a crossbow. They've got kind of a lot of HP. Kind of feeling that. Okay. You are going to become a prophet. We're going to switch back to getting a guru. Actually, just reset this here. I'm going to get a big, you know, we might be able to switch to, I think that's okay. And then that will be good. This province is, I'm not sure how we're going to do against that. Long Dead Horseman can be a little gnarly. And we wouldn't actually go for this first in expansion, not only because it's weird, but I just want to show you heavy cav. Okay, this is without the Marcata screen in front. So we don't really need them here. They tend to kind of just die, and we're going to keep them for... They're still going for the Marcata. Yeah, these guys are going to get punished. Okay, do we lose anybody? Not much. Over here, this we're going to take losses. When you do plow into heavy cav, not only are we going to lose these Marcata, but... thing elephants are good at is killing heavy cav. They just tend to kind of take losses if you let them take the lance charge. So that's how you do... Okay, how did we lose an elephant there? I protest. Do we get another bleeding at the end? That one elephant took a lot of hits. Oh yeah, we got another bleeding. Okay. That's part of expansion, is getting those damn bleedings. Okay, this is a pretty easy one. We don't really have a lot of elephants. Heavy infantry. That's pretty easy. We're a little low on elephants. You kind of want a few more than this. But we've got a pretty good front line. And I think, let's watch this again. I just want to see the sync, how these things are synced up. Yeah, it's pretty perfect. I mean, maybe we want these guys like one tick back. Maybe a tiny bit better. Okay. So we'll go take this next. And then here. Okay, we had these guys expand. So this turn, we're expanding with lots of elephants. You can see our gold is starting to kind of pile up. And we have actually a shit ton of resources. So what we're going to do this turn, actually, we're going to get some of our higher resource dudes, our big cudgel carrying dudes. We're going to get 6 elephants, and then Marcata. Okay. Do I have any good thing? What did I get researched? I'm not going to take elephants into this. I think this is an exception. Like, that's a really weird province to have in your cap circle. You definitely don't want to send elephants in there. Or if you do, you want them like super flanky and not taking damage. What we really want is like thick guys who are just going to take hits while we banish them. Or like if I had stuff intelligently picked to research, we'd have like starfires or solar rays. We'll do that. Starting to get some research. Okay, we'll come down here. The other thing is because I didn't profit my original guy, my scales haven't expanded very well. Normally I'd have like way better dominion spread. So just do this. Lose 1 Marcata archer, lose nothing. Next we'll go... Guess we'll take this. Some of this, like in a multiplayer game, you wouldn't really get like this. You definitely wouldn't, like, people would object to you taking this. So you'd probably backtrack and come down here, or, you know, whatever. But you're also probably not going to get 20 provinces in expansion with, in general, in a multiplayer. But we're not sure which ones we're going to get, so we're going to kind of... We're going to try for a lot. Barbs are going to be a little tough. We've got these idiots here. We need to send them out. I think we want to clear up this way, so I think we're going to take... How many turns do we have left? We have a few. So we're going to come here, and then we're going to swing up. These guys are going to come down here. Our next group... We actually can probably, because these are kind of weak, we can actually do another expansion party this coming turn. Yeah, and we'll send these guys down. God, there's almost no heavy cav. So anyway, that one heavy cav was important because you'll have When you play, you'll have more heavy cav than this. But just before this, I tested again. I got, I think, 18 provinces year 1. And, God damn it. Oh, some of our guys are crippled. I didn't really check. I think in that case, we'd put the crippled elephants up in front with the other party. So all of our non-crippled elephants died because they got there a little early. So these guys are kind of toast. Which, if we were paying better attention, we would notice they were crippled. But we weren't, so we didn't. Not going to send them against Darkvines here. But we actually can merge these armies up. So I think we'll attack the Darkvines next turn. And then here we're going to reset and go just after some cudgel dudes. Start getting like a more proper army if we run into players. You think they're all big and tough until we hit them with our 26 damage cudgel. Attack is okay, it's not great, but you can, if you kind of mix them in with other like size 1 Marcata, they can get some harass penalty in too if you're worried about defense. Okay, we'll apply one to these idiots. These guys are going to move. Blowpipes. Okay, with blowpipes, we just want to run at them as fast as we GD can, if you know what I mean. And then we'll have this guy do Sermon of Courage, which is, this is what you would normally do on your original expansion party. It's probably like one too many Sermon of Courages. Okay. Okay, so we're getting this guy. Next turn we'll get another, or next turn this commander is going to come back. This also, by the way, is why, like in multiplayer games, you totally should be able to get through the first year when it's just indie expansion really fast. Because honestly, you don't need to obsess too much over your turns. Like, they're really fast. Like, ideally, you don't figure out expansion during multiplayer. So this is just kind of, you know, in multiplayer, you're just testing what should already be working. Do we lose some guys here? No. How many turns do I have left? 2 more? Okay. So what we'll do is we'll put... Okay, we need to be careful here. So let's take our wounded guys. You guys are crippled, right? Limp. Okay, so they're limped. So the limped guys are going to go in the main army. These are going to be in the laggards. Okay, and then we're going to put the Marcata over here. You are going to come back and pick up another group. I'll send you down here. Did we get evocation too? We'll have it this turn. We'll send in our mage corps to come kill this. We'll put some pearls on them. Because that might be what, I don't know if you did that in multiplayer, but we'll just see if we can do it so we can get that, that province count we need. Okay, barbs. We need to hit the barbs. I need to show y'all barbs. So, here's heavy cav too. I could go boom boom, or I could go, I think I want to show you barbs. Barbs are kind of motherfuckers in this. So what we want to do for barbs is we do want to have a little monkey screen. And then we want these guys, ideally we hit with kind of all these at the same time. Okay. Position these guys a little farther forward. We're going to take losses here. Okay, these guys don't have much armor, so these guys are actually going to do a fair amount, so we're going to position them farther forward to hit the idiots. Okay, and that should work. We have a commander coming back. We've got a bunch of these guys. We don't actually want elephants for this, and since our next expansion is going to be up this way, I'm actually not going to turn off recruitment of these. We're actually just going to get only the big cudgel dudes. Well, you know what we could do? We'll have a front line of cudgel dudes, and then we'll have these guys throwing rocks, which are actually kind of okay against undead. Okay. And we're gonna have actually some Marcata behind them. So we can have a lot of Marcata. Okay. That was kind of dicey. We'll see what happened here. Wait, why was I on hold and attack here? Oh, we actually retreated? Fuck. And they stomped over on my dudes. That's the other thing you have to worry about elephants, is they'll kill your own shit. I don't know why I was on hold and attack there. I think that was from a previous battle. I forgot to change the script. So that wouldn't really happen in multiplayer. Got our crippled elephants in the front. Oh, they're doing agony, which is not something we want against elephants. I can get that fear proc, we'd be in trouble. Okay. We lost some, but, you know, it's a tricky battle with... Okay. So you handle barbs. We lost some. I mean, that was kind of how you want to do it, though. Like, we'll watch this again. Because this is about elephant expansion. We got our Marcata up in contact with the enemy. We ideally could have had these guys maybe a little farther forward. Because our elephants probably took a little bit too much of the beating and not enough on the Bandar warriors. We got one more turn to see how many provinces we get. So we'll come here. Have you guys come back in here. And why y'all are on hold and attack, I have no idea. Okay. That should not have failed. That wouldn't have failed if we were paying attention. And then we'll take this, and then you, good sir, are going to come in here, and we're going to take like 4 of you guys, and we'll give y'all each a couple pearls. And this is only 2 away from our capital, so we can... It's only wasting 2 mage turns for each of them we're bringing, but we'll do a line formation here. Hold and attack closest. Then we'll have these guys behind them in a line, and they will be on hold and fire closest. And then we'll have these guys chippering at the back. And then we'll have these guys doing solar rays. And then, okay. So we'll put this on a hotkey. And then we'll give this a hotkey too. Okay. Then we'll plow into those idiots. We're going to take this. Here we'll take that. Here we'll take this. And that will be... We've cordoned off some more for us too to take later. But, I mean, this would be an okay scales expansion for Patala. Reset recruitment. Let's get another mage. And then we'll switch over to these guys. Depending on who you're fighting, you probably want to get either of these for your first war. And you may want to, you know, at this time you may want to, like, get the lakes. So we could get some Naga. Naga kind of suck. But, you know. They're sacred. If you put a bless on them, they can be not completely horrific. But don't expect much from them. I mean, they will be enough to take over this kind of shit, right? So that's probably what I would be doing at this point in time, is getting those and then going to take the lakes. If I were playing Patala. Easy. Oh, we lost. Oh wait, this is the undead battle. We may have lost this. can see why we brought the mages. That's why we brought the mages. Oh, heavy cav, I didn't really prepare. I think I just sent them in. But that's okay. We don't really have to have a Markata screen. It just means we're going to lose some of our Bandar warriors. Yeah, we lost a few of them. So ideally you would have had a Markata screen so you didn't lose them, but it's a little bit of heavy cav. And then here, what do we have? Oh yeah, this was our fail where we had people on hold an attack. Okay. So, anyway, that is it. How many did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we got 19, and that was with one failed expansion that we shouldn't have had. This was kind of easy pop types, so I think if I were to, like, do this many times, I'd probably get 18, now that I've kind of figured it out a little bit. But, I mean, you can see I wasn't putting tremendous amounts of thought and effort into it. But you do have to, I mean, like, when you try to figure out how to scales expand with a nation, you know, you do have to figure out what troop compositions work, what are hard, what you can take, what you can't, all those sorts of things. You know, you need to know, like, your positions well enough so that things make contact at the same time that you want to, things like that. But yeah, so haters who say that you can't expand with Patala, scales, yeah, monkey power, man. Monkey power. And honestly, yeah. I mean, you'll do fine, I think, I mean, these are scary dudes. You know, I mean, if you're fighting elves, you probably don't want to use these guys, but I don't know what you would do if you're fighting elves. I don't know. You trample those fuckers with elephants is probably what you do while they're tangled up with these guys. Or you do massive Markata swarms. I'm not sure. You'd have to... But anyway, you have troops that can deal with a lot of different things. So this is a nation that can go scales. The Naga are kind of overpriced, but, you know, if you get a Crystal Matrix and you put it on them, they can be pretty good, nice add-ons to your otherwise beautiful communions here that you can do with these guys. And then, you know, this one, you don't need to do a Crystal Matrix. They can always go into a communion. But you know, in theory, you have to worry about getting magic dueled, but in practice, you're going to have a shit ton of Astral Mages. Magic duel for this lady in part of an army. It's a small risk, but it's not a huge one. And she can do, you know, Strength of Giants right off the bat on a bunch of your dudes, which is really good for monkey nations. Yeah, I mean, quickness and other things too. So, like, quickened elephants, that's a fun thing. The problem with it, though, is elephants are undisciplined. Or no, I mean, they're not undisciplined. So you could do hold an attack and do it. But you can't really mass them. But you can also do body ethereal and stuff on elephants for your first war. Anyway, point is, that is, I think, the way to do elephants in Dom 5. And Patala, not dumpster fire. Monkey power. See y'all later.